path to travel.
My name is Todd Spitzer, and I'm a state legislator. I represent a large part of this area. I have as a county supervisor and now a state legislator. And I am very frustrated because when the fire broke out on Sunday, I was in immediate contact with the state about what kind of resources they could deploy. And I urged them to deploy air support as early as Sunday night. Why? Because the fire was burning towards Irvine and Portola in the city of Irvine, but we know our region, we know this jurisdiction, and as soon as the winds shift, Foothill Ranch, where we're standing, and Majeska, just on the other side of the hill, is in jeopardy. And when you take Majeska and Silverado Canyon and you can't stop it, it goes right into the Cleveland National Forest. So you take a fire that not only may or may not last 2 or 3 days with the wind, but even when the wind dies down, we have the potential for that to penetrate into the Cleveland National Forest. I do believe we have been penalized because our firefighters, now going on their 3rd day, highly fatigued, highly stressed out, not a lot of relief in sight. Our firefighters have done a wonderful job. Right behind us, they stopped that fire coming through Limestone Whiting Canyon from eating up the homes on both sides of that canyon just yesterday, just about a few blocks from where we speak. So have we been penalized for our success? Unfortunately, yes. Here's the plan that was issued today by the fire authority. It was rewritten 1 hour before the briefing. This document should be the living document, just like every other incident command in every jurisdiction. This is what should change when you're fighting a fire. But the plan provided by the state, in other words, the number of resources, the number of planes, the number of hand crews, the number of air tankers, that should not change. That shouldn't be the changing factor in this scenario. The local plan should be, depending on wind conditions, humidity, temperature, structures being threatened, and the amount of fire and the acreage that it's consumed. This plan should be the only thing that changes. Now, yesterday, for example, in San Diego jurisdiction, the Harris Ranch fire, they were eligible for air support and didn't even know it. And that's what's frustrating to me, is I have to say this. When the California legislature Monday morning quarterbacks this scenario, I know my colleagues are all going to be calling for additional resources. And what Chief Prather's made clear, and every other fire chief in the state of California, is the Blue Ribbon Commission was sanctioned to determine what we needed and to make recommendations. They made those recommendations, and yet the legislature did not choose to follow those recommendations. To me, that's unconscionable. We always knew this day would come. This is the day of reckoning. And what's frustrating to me is that we are not able to deal with it, and we're putting not only property and citizen life at risk, but we're putting firefighter lives at risk. I just came from Majeska Canyon, just on the other side of this hill, where the fire is blazing out of control. It's utter chaos. Even though that community has been evacuated, it's utter chaos. The people who are fleeing from the scene are not citizens. They are firefighters. And we just got air support for the first time. We needed that air support. But let's make another thing clear. We don't have an off fire season in Southern California. That's what everybody thinks. Oh, it's October, November, no problem. We never can let our guard down in Southern California. So with that, what I want to say is this is the document that changes. But the state's document